Okay. All right. So a little bit before we get started, this topic is usually a heated discussion. So before all of my shows, I encourage all of my guests and co-hosts, no matter what happens during this the stream during the show, no matter how heated the debate gets, I want the vibe at the end for us to all feel like we want to give each other a group hug. So with that in mind, with that to heart, let's get it started. What is up, people of the internet? Welcome to my new segment, Karen's Corner. No, just kidding. It's called Karen's Corner. I ran that title, Crazy Karen's Corner, across a lot of people. They thought it was too controversial. They thought I would be canceled and lose all of my 6 subscribers. I'm just kidding. Again, I have a little bit more, 8. But yeah. So what the segment is about is we are gonna react and do a deep analysis to some of the most recent, most viral, controversial Karen videos, or you can call them Susans or Becky's. But no matter what you call them, they are all the same thing. And to kind of balance it out, rather just like a minority sitting here judging, comment, reaction, bitching, analyzing these Becky's, Karen, Susans, I brought on a special guest host with me. She coming from making her YouTube premiere, coming from the Karen community herself. Let's give it up for Miss Sara Ray. Sara Ray, unveil yourself.
Hello.
Hey,
Karen community.
why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, a little background, a little bit of your credibility.
Sure. Credibility. So I am Sara, and I'm currently an elementary teacher. I just got my master's degree in cross-cultural and global studies. So I actually grew up in a very affluent white community. And so I, have experience with lots of Karens and Susans and whatnot. So Tree thought I would be, Tree thought I would
The word is perfect.
Yeah, he thought I would be the best candidate to bring my own experiences, I guess.
Perfect. Perfect is a level above best. There's nothing. Get right, girl.
Yeah, so I told Tree earlier, I was like, I'm gonna hold back some of my true feelings because I am a teacher, and I don't want to be unemployed because of things I see on the internet. So Tree will express a lot of the outrage and things that I truly feel, but will not say live on Facebook or the internet.
And in the chance that you do get fired, I heard a lot of people are getting really good unemployment right now. And
Well,
plus, I know a couple of attorneys. You white, you know a couple of attorneys too. So, and also, if y'all subscribe to my Patreon, I will let y'all know how she really feels. Keep that in mind. And throughout this video, if you like what you see, you enjoy it, you appreciated it, give it a like. Link to my Patreon and my YouTube channel. Give it a subscription because I'm hungry. I hadn't really ate all day. I spent all my money on this YouTube equipment. Feed me, please. So, all right. So we are gonna get started with. Well, first, I want to give my definition of what a Karen is, what a Becky is, what a Susan is, from a minority perspective. Now, you all may think that Karens are all white, but I don't believe that's true. In my opinion, a Karen can be any ethnicity, any race. If they're a male gender, then it can be called Kevins. But
I know some of those too.
But they are entitled. They are privileged. They have very likely not been told no in their life. Nobody will probably ever laid their hands on a Karen. That's why they grow up thinking the world is theirs. They're untouchable.
They're entitled.
They're entitled. Nobody can do anything to them or harm them. But today we about to prove y'all wrong. So, Sarah, let's get your definition of what a Karen is.
So I guess a Karen, like I said, they're entitled. They've been living their life in a bubble, and it's been in a safe bubble where they've, never had to explore their cultures, explore their points of views, and their point of view is right and everyone else is wrong. And they take their privilege, whether it be their privilege of race or their privilege of social class, and they use it to, try to empower themselves against other people. And so I feel like that would be my definition.
All right. So the video that we are going to dissect, analyze today, and I know there are other reactions to these videos out there, but we bring something different to the table. We're going to do more towards an academic view of it, bringing in a psychology perspective, a sociology perspective, and maybe a little history if it comes up. So if y'all hadn't seen this video that went viral over the weekend, it was this one Karen in Phoenix that got bitch slapped in a gas station. The way it started, she came to the gas station, and the gas pump wasn't working, so she went in to try to get somebody to help her, and that's where the video starts. So I'm gonna share the screen right now. Get started. All right. All right, Sarah, do you see the screen on your end?
I do.
All right, tell me what you see real quick, just to make sure.
I see the video.
Okay, all right, great.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna be pausing at some sections to kind of analyze and dissect it. And Sarah, let me know if you want to pause anywhere, and I'll pause. Maybe yell it out, so to kind of overpower the audio of the video. And
the videos speak for itself.
Yeah, video does speak for itself, but there's so much more underneath.
True.
So, and be warned, there is some gonna be some explicit language, not by the video, most likely by me. Cover your kids' ears up. All right, and feel free to express some explicit language too, Sarah.
I'm going to try to retain, but we'll see.
All right. So let's start it off. The video is about a minute long.
Yeah, you're not supposed to her racist. You don't tell no.
Hold on. Is this the beginning of the video?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay.
Don't serve her. Yeah, you're not supposed to serve her racist.
You don't tell no. Continue serving.
You need to leave. You're not.
Hold on. Okay, I want to ask why is she going up to a random stranger and demanding him to leave when she don't even work there?
Because she doesn't want to be filmed. She doesn't want her racism to be caught on camera so everyone can see.
But don't he got doesn't he have a legal right to film people?
Of course, and that's actually the reason why we're having this huge movement, because we finally have the technology to film the racism that people have been experiencing for hundreds of years, thousands of years, and it's like, wow, now we can finally expose these people.
But this bitch thinks she has the power, the authority to try to kick someone out, to try to demand someone to do something he has every legal right to. Where did she come off thinking that way?
Well, it's her entitlement. She's entitled, and she says, nope, you're not allowed to film me. And this woman says, Karen.
Who the fuck is she to tell him that he can't do something in his legal right?
Well, I think that's part of the definition of what these people, are. Like I said, they're entitled. I think we should watch the rest of the video and see what happens.
All right, let's continue a little bit.
Part of this. You need to leave. You're not a part of this. No, you do not come in here and use the F word and swear and call me a bitch.
I never even.
I said she is, and you're not a part of
that word.
So now she's putting words in his mouth. He never said those words, and now she's making up stuff and putting those words in his mouth.
She's like, oh, the F word, and she spells out bitch. Like, look, I'm a good person. I don't say cuss words. I spell them out.
I see here she's making up a story to make him sound bad, something that obviously didn't happen.
Of course. Okay, let's watch the video. I want to see what happens.
All right.
Get out of here. I know. I said she is, and that's why she's leaving. So you will leave too.
No. This is going all over the internet.
Hold on. Why is she saying that other lady's leaving? I mean, if she was the owner, I could understand. If she worked there, I could understand. Why does she think that because she tells that other lady to leave, that she's gonna be leaving?
I mean, she's probably treated people this way her whole life. She's probably used to saying, jump, and people are like, how high? So it's probably confusing for her, for someone to talk back and to actually stand up to her. So she's probably like, what's going on? Why are these people not listening to me? Why aren't they doing what I tell them to do? This is not normal.
Oh, well, she's not gonna like the world nation we're about to be living in soon. Oh, she's in for a rude awakening. So let's keep going.
Who I am. You told her to go back to her country where she's from. Yeah. Yeah.
Where were you born, bitch? I was born in America, bitch. Where are your ancestors from?
Hold on. So, I just gotta think, why does it matter where she's born? It don't fucking matter where she's born. She's a human being.
Well,
they both have every right to be in that gas station getting served.
I mean, unless you're an indigenous person to the United States, before people started colonizing, then everyone's a foreigner. Like it's the concept of like, go back to where you were from. Like, my ancestors are not from here. Well, I take that back. I do have some Native American ancestors, but I can't trace them back, so I have no idea. That's just hearsay from my family. But that whole concept to go back from where you're born, it's like a lot of these people that are like, her ancestors were probably from European countries too.
Yeah, here's the kicker. That lady, she's Native American.
Okay.
She's actually Native American. So she was born here. Her grandma, her grandparents were born here. Her great grandparents were born here. Her great grandparents was born here. And then this Karen's family ancestors had very likely came over and looted, pillaged, raped her ancestors.
It's very possible.
And it's very highly possible. History books showed us. For all I know, Columbus was one of them.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started on Columbus.
Oh no! Get into Columbus. I want to hear it.
No.
Unless you're worried about your job.
I mean, we have to teach about him in schools, and it's
Have to. Wait,
yeah, it's part of our curriculum. Yep, it's part of our curriculum to teach about Christopher Columbus and social studies. And my feeling is, I say he existed. He was a person. This is the way, we technically have Christopher Columbus Day. This is why people celebrate him. But let's change the narrative and let's talk about Indigenous people. And a lot of my students, they've never even heard that word. A lot of teachers haven't even heard of that word, and it shocks me. And so that's kind of how I try to get around it. I cover the curriculum as I am by my job, but I try to steer the narrative to a different point of view so my students are more open-minded and they can make decisions for themselves about who was right, who was wrong. But Christopher Columbus was a horrible person. And in my opinion, we need to stop, celebrating him. So
if all those are, all those are facts. All those are facts. Then why are we still teaching children?
Because our
about murder, about rapists.
Because our curriculum, especially in the South, is very whitewashed, and it's something that needs to be looked at and changed. But until we, like I said, the people that make this curriculum, they are, the ones that most of the people making curriculum, especially in Texas, don't even have education backgrounds. And so it's important for people who really care about the system to get out there, get their voice out, to vote for the correct people. So yes, I think we should finish the video.
All right, let's continue.
From this country, you better go back to where you're from.
You just walked in.
Oh, hold on, I gotta rewind that and watch that again. That bitch had it coming.
You better go back to where you're from.
You just walked in.
Pop!
Oh my God.
Yeah, you deserved it, in my opinion.
I don't condone violence, obviously. I mean, I feel like I don't want to say she got what she deserved, but it's like, if you're going to act like that, there's going to be consequences.
That was, in my eyes, that was not violence. That was self-defense.
True.
He assaulted her verbally and physically.
True.
And you're very likely emotionally.
Oh yeah, like there's no. I mean, I've been in that situation where I was defending, myself and other people in a store, because there's 2 occasions actually where there's 2 crazy old white men, and there was like long lines, and they were like spouting about, this isn't how my country's supposed to be ran, make America great again, all this, stuff. And I was like, dude, you need to stop talking. Like, you're just obnoxious. And of course they get defensive and stuff, and it gets heated. So I can see how in the heat of the moment you just want to slap her, and she did.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I was in her shoes, I would have felt cornered.
Yeah.
Cornered like that, you have like a fight or flight reaction.
True. You're running, and you're just like, get away from me.
And as much as Native Americans have been discriminated against, like their majority of their population is almost gone. Let's say they're almost extinct.
Well, yes, and they're still getting a crapshoot. I mean, I hope that we can include the narrative for them with this, new uprising, because I think they're kind of on the back burner right now, and I think their rights and wants and needs need to be included as well.
Do you see that happening anytime soon? This year, after election, maybe?
I mean, I think that Yes, because I think the way, if the momentum keeps going the way it is, then we can see real change. I mean, I'm I'm gonna quote Trevor Noah because you know how much I love him.
I'm going
I was listening to his podcast last night and he was talking about how, apartheid didn't end until chaos erupted. And so I feel like right now, like we're in the midst of the chaos. And I'm like, this is not gonna, stop until we just like we cannot stop. We cannot stop fighting. We cannot stop having our voices heard, until we get what people deserve. They deserve, justice. They deserve to be treated like a human being, not like a non-human. So I think that we're in, as chaotic as it is, I think we're in the right mind frame, and we just need to keep it going, to be honest with you.
that sounds good. And what's the best way for us to keep it going?
So just keep protesting, keep sharing things, keep calling people out. But in November, you have to vote. You have to vote because right now, that is the only way that we are actually going to change the system. And so if you are out there and you're protesting and you're, giving people a voice, it's not going to mean much if you don't go to the polls in November and vote these criminals out. So you have to vote. In Texas, you can still register to vote. You can register to vote 30 days before the election. So October 5th is the last day you can register to vote. You can go online, just Google register to vote in Texas. You can download an application. And that is the best way right now to get your voice heard.
Well, now I believe that. To be honest, in my whole adult year, I've never voted before. I never believed in the system. The system never did anything good for me. Come from a minority of lower socioeconomic background, and you have to understand the government shits on people from those type of backgrounds. They focus more on the middle class, upper class,
Mm-hmm.
and they just leave the rest in the dust because they see that we are the scum of society. They see because of where we're at, there was probably a reason why we got to where we are. They don't think of it as like maybe we came over here because we're in a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
Vietnamese people, a lot of them moved over here in my time to get away from war, to get away from communism,
Right.
to have more opportunity. And coming from an era of war, you know, you wouldn't be doing so well. You wouldn't have a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
and it cost money to escape. Coming over here, we had two families living in a small one bedroom apartment, and we worked hard, came up from there.
So,
But
like the political process, voting, that wasn't the main thing on your mind. Your mind was on survival. How do we survive? How do we make it in this new country? And so, politics wasn't your main focus. And your parents, your grandparents, that wasn't, they wanted to figure out how to survive, how to be successful. And so that makes sense.
also we have a comment. Stephanie said, "Hey, I found you, Tree. Hey, what's up? What's up, Stephanie? Hey, girl, you missed a good game of Mafia last night." All right, all right, all right. Back to the important stuff. Not that you're not important, Stephanie. But yeah. I mean, when we it's survival. But if the government had done more and had helped us out more, it would have been
Of
easier. It
course.
would have been less hungry nights, less
Of course.
worrying about if we're gonna have money to pay the electricity bill.
Right. And it shows in Nordic countries, and I was in Finland a few summers ago. When the government takes care of their people and they have healthcare and they're not going hungry, people are happy. People don't want to riot. They don't want to, kill each other because they're fed and they have homes and they have healthcare. If they get sick, they can go to the doctor. And so a lot of this, it has to do with the system that, we have in our country. And so really it's the system that needs to change. We need to fix it. And it's possible. And everyone says America's the greatest country in the world. It could be the greatest country in the world if it was fixed. There's so many other government things that we could be looking at to change policy that are successful. But instead of going forward, we've gone way backwards, which is really sad.
Well, thank you, Trump.
No.
But we don't have enough time in this episode to go down that rabbit hole.
No.
Maybe the next one.
Maybe.
Maybe the next one. Only if you had fun and you want to come back and you still got your job. All right. It seems like we've gone on longer than what I thought. Mm-hmm. And we were gonna play a different video, but I think let's just jump into our final remarks. But do you have any final remarks for this Karen that we went over in this episode? Oh, I mean, yeah. A little tidbit.
Yes.
Her husband is actually a white attorney.
Mm-hmm.
His excuse for her actions that she was going through some mental issues, but who the hell isn't going through some mental issues right now? That's no excuse.
Well, I feel like that's always the excuse. Oh, I was having a bad day. Maybe I didn't take my meds that day, so I decided to go off on a lady. I mean, okay, well then she needs to, if she's having serious mental, issues that she assaults people, then she really needs to go see someone about that. And I feel that way about anyone who uses that, rhetoric. If they're having a bad day, okay, you need to find the empathy inside yourself. You need to educate yourself. I feel a lot of these people are in their bubble and they're living like this ignorant bliss and they don't see anything outside of that. And I think that's the problem. Once you interact with different cultures, different people, you see how different people live, how people, talk, how people see the world. I mean, just me and you, like we see the world very differently from our cultures. And, you have to accept that and grow as a human being. You can't just live in ignorant bliss your whole life and then snap one day because, someone's not living the way that you think they should be.
Now, I know you mentioned the term bubble a lot.
Yes.
I just want to paint a picture of what her bubble looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Since she's married to an attorney, she got some nice clothes on. She got clean skin, and her bubble is probably living in a big 4 or 5 restroom house with 7 or 8 restrooms in there. I don't know why there's more restrooms.
That's a lot of restrooms.
I don't know. She might want to do her makeup on one of the 3 or 4 floors of her house.
Sure.
And it's a big relaxing house. Why is she having mental issues? For all she knows, the Native American lady is going home to a reservation with a bunch of kids living off scraps.
Well, I think that's the important thing is you don't know what people are going through. So even with, you can't, as much as these people are frustrating, you can't, you don't know. And so I think the best way to help these people is to educate them. Like I said, that's my solution to everything. Educate them. And so it's very frustrating. And your first response is to yell and be like, you racist, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I don't know. There's so many different sides to the story. And I'm not defending her at all. Of course not. I'm just saying the whole situation is frustrating. And you're as these people I know, especially that woman with her age, she's set in her ways. Like there might be a point in her life where she has some experience and she might change her ways, she might change her mind. And you would hope for that. That would be the best, outcome. But maybe not, maybe she goes to all her friends and her husband and she's like, oh my gosh, I was attacked, and nothing changes and it gets worse. So I mean, that's why I say we have to change the system, because once the system changes, then we can call out these people and they know that this behavior is not tolerated and they can't get away with it.
All right. That was a very deep and educational final remark. I hope she watches this video and takes your words into consideration, into the heart. But
Yeah.
more important than that, she better take my final remarks to her. Don't you ever put your hands on another person again, especially a minority, because we will slap you back in self-defense. The world is about to change. You about to wake up. I hope you get woke as hell with your eyes open, because you ain't in a white man's world anymore.
Well, we hope, because technically we are, yes. So let's change that. Go vote. Go register to vote. If you live in Texas, I don't know how other states work, but just go online.
Yeah, I need some help with that. I ain't trying to go out in a big crowd of people.
Yes.
Wish I had somebody to help me vote, though.
Oh, I'm gonna help you vote. I'm the one that registered you to vote.
Now all the audience knows I'm registered to vote, and I'm about to vote, and I will vote. So don't cancel me, don't hate on me. Leave positive comments down below. You can like, give me a subscription, and support my Patreon to keep me going, keep me fed. I'm very hungry now. Also, check out on Instagram, Karens Gone Wild. They have some great content there. I'll put the link in the details. About to go get some dinner. So, thank you so much, people of the internet, for sticking it through to the end. Hope you appreciated it. Hope you got something out of it. Hope it helped you out. Now, you want to show some love, show some support. Give me a subscription. Give me a like. Hit that notification button, share the video, leave a comment. And at the beginning, I said you stick through to the end, you'll find out about some benefits, giveaways. All the details of the benefits and giveaways is going to be on my Patreon. You do have to be a subscriber to be able to get those giveaways and benefits and raffles. I'll be giving out raffles. They can be like gift cards, merch, whatever I can get my hands on to show my appreciation to viewers, subscribers of that month, that week. So, and if you have a topic in mind that you'd like me to do, to go over, drop it down in the comments, hit me up in my DMs, send me an email. I will take it into consideration. If you're a subscriber, I would take it even bigger consideration. So, I hope y'all have a great day. Appreciate it. See ya.